Hey guys, it's Breach, and we have a bit of a doozy today. We're going to go ahead and just get through Lower Norfair. I mean, there are some things that we'll have to clean up afterwards, but we're near the end of the game. This series should wrap up this week. Previously, we killed off Dragon, did a lot of cleanup in Meridia, and then this particular episode, or at least the beginning of it, this is two play sessions kind of spliced together for a little bit better length. While I was playing, I had to stop and figure out where I was friggin' going for some of these. Like this right here. Notice in one of the previous episodes, we dropped down that hole, and there's a wall there, so you just don't think to go further. But, of course, here's the Turtle Room, the infamous Turtle Room. Now we've got two power-ups in here. One hidden in the wall over here, a missile tank, and then one that it shows you up in the top left corner. That, honestly, is just easier to get after you have spacesuit. What you're supposed to do is, like, powerbomb the turtle to get it to jump, I think. I don't know, I've never bothered to do it correctly. So, we're just gonna try and jump up there. You can also shine spark, I think, if you get a good running start into this room. But you need to probably take off the grapple beam if you're gonna do that, Breach. Either that or pre-open the door. Yeah. So, while jumping up there and then space jumping over, probably the best bet. Although, this goes back to me saying the space jump, at least in this iteration, is a little bit broken in its implementation. Because, like, I'm pressing the input at the right time, it's just deciding, nope, I'm not going to space jump, not going to do it. So, we end up wall jumping for a little extra height, and still space jumping a little bit over. And yep, sure enough, just getting stuck on stuff, can't get any more elevation because the game just doesn't want me to. And we finally get the energy tank. Like I said, you're supposed to like powerbomb the baby turtles or powerbomb the main turtle, and then it jumps up and shoots you up there, and then you can grapple beam to that. But it's, I don't know, it's less confusing to go about it, either using space jump or wall jumps or anything like that. And we have one other item that I know for sure that we need to pick up over here, and that is the plasma beam that we just ran right friggin' by. And I think that might be it on Meridia for us. The first quarter of this video is finishing out Meridia, and then we're going to Lower Norfair. And we'll end up tackling Ridley before the day's through. And I don't know why that guy just decided to stick there, but he did. So there's that. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff about this game that just, I don't understand why it works, and that's one of my things with games. Like, I like to understand the why as much as the how. More so for a lot of it. Why things function the way they do. And for this game, I don't know if just I haven't found the right material for it, but there's a lot of it that I don't understand the why for. Like the space jump. But you can get by just fine wall jumping, as long as you don't hit a bunch of damn mock droids on the way. Now, I can't remember if there is a way over to it this way, but this was recorded right after I looked up what I needed to do and what I still had left. So we're on the ride together right now. Future Let's Plays from me, not going to be post commentary, just because the time it takes to review the video, commentate over it, all that, it's not worth the hassle, really. It arbitrarily triples the length of the video. So yeah, we're on our way up to get Plasma Beam now. It's been a hot minute since this was recorded, and I had forgotten. But to expound more on everything being post commentary from here out, all of this was recorded back in August, and this commentary is happening Sunday before it gets uploaded. It's just a giant... I should have wall jumped off of there. Like, you're supposed to space jump, and that's great and all, but space jump doesn't work half the time. But yeah, I recorded all these in August, and the commentary is just like tripling the length of how long it takes to get these out. Plus, it's just a better, more pure reaction to it from going live. So all of the 100% Club videos after Super Metroid is wrapped up will be live commentary, just to get a more real reaction to it. What we picked up there is the Plasma Beam. Now, it stacks on all our other beams. You can see Ice and Wave and Spazer going through there. Excuse me. And Plasma, what it does is it adds more damage to the beam, but it makes it to where your beam pierces enemies. Now, in the Metroid Prime series, or at least in Metroid Prime 1, the Plasma Beam they gave a fire element to, just because they rolled with like elements for all of the different weapons. Like, Wave was electricity, Ice was ice, obviously, because, I mean, hey, let's make the Ice Beam like an earth element. That makes sense. And here, again, just what space jump. Why won't you work? Like, this is how you're supposed to get out, is you're supposed to space jump up there, but I can't get any elevation off the jump barely until just one time it, by luck, happens. So if you know why the space jump just decides not to space jump, feel free to let me know in the comments below, because it legitimately pisses me off at several points in the middle of playing. And that the space jump made me lose my entire train of thought there. Now we got him out of the way. Time to get back up here, because this can't be made easy. But as I said at the very first episode, 100% Club will be the successes, the failures, the trials and tribulations of getting 100%. And unfortunately, a lot of that hinges on fighting against things like space jump. You can go, you just need to... You got the right idea, Breach. Good Breach. And now that we have Plasma, we can actually destroy these little sons of bitches before they get into the sand and just kind of shoot us endlessly. Which is nice, really. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like just repeatedly being hit when I can't do anything about it. Now, there's going to be a small cut that you'll see where I go to a save room and save, and then the next clip is coming out of said save room. And that's because in between this little 10 minutes where I cleaned up Meridia, I wanted to make sure that I knew exactly what I was doing going into Lower Norfair, so that we didn't have another, hour and a half long let's get lost boys session through an area. Because I know up to the wrecked ship fairly well. That's what got played the most on, any times I'd pick up the game just to play it, and then I'd get distracted by something else. Up through the wrecked ship, I got down pat. But Meridia and Lower Norfair, when the game actively starts trying to confuse you, those are the ones that I get a little bit turned around on. Oh, it's so nice to be out of there. It's really a wonderful feeling whenever you have the one area in a game that you're just not a fan of, and then you get done with it and you can go on to just cool stuff. And that's really the only word I can use to describe Lower Norfair, is it is just cool. Love the area, love the music, love the remix of it in Magmoor Caverns and Prime. Everything about it, just, as much as I dogged on Meridia the whole time I was going through there, I love Lower Norfair. I think Ridley's boss design is just amazingly cool. Granted, anytime you get to fight a dragon in a game, that's kind of badass. And not only that, you're fighting a dragon in space with goddamn laser guns. It doesn't get much cooler than that. So, what are some of you guys' favorite areas in the game so far? Like, we've only got 2 areas left. We've got Lower Norfair, and then we're going to do some cleanup, and then we have Torian. Which, Turian's really cool, too, for as little time as you spend there. And it's almost exactly the same as in the original Metroid on NES. Still, Breach still not knowing how to get past that one room. Oh, hey, we're gonna learn how to Shine Spark today. Again, the Decora. I wonder if we can beat it up there. And here I am showing off. Yay! I actually know how to do that diagonal Shine Spark now. Look at me! Look at me! Aren't I so cool? Go and hop down a little bit. I got my partner in crime jumping around on my lap here while commentating this. So if you hear anything that sounds like a motorcycle, that's just my little boy dog. Okay, come on, Breach. You got this. Just no, you can't do that. So we're working our way back up through Brinstar because, honestly, there's an easier path to get to Lower Norfair, but might as well take a touch of a victory lap. And I can't remember if I do any other pickups along the way either. There's really not much. You know what? It just occurred to me. That diagonal Shine Spark in the Samus ship area for that power bomb upgrade is not actually Shine Spark required. The only one is that missile pack in Meridia, because you can do a space jump to get up there. I mean, if space jump decides to cooperate, you can. But it's doable. There's no Shine Spark blocks that you have to boost through to get up there. So, yeah, that one missile pack is the only place that you really need to know how to Shine Spark for. Which is kind of nifty. Isn't it appropriate that we're going back to where it all began? Yeah, Breach, this room that you kept just kind of walking by thinking it was the way to Torian, even though you know the way to Torian is back in the Space Pirate room. This is a map. That's why it didn't seem familiar. Because anytime I've watched like speedruns of it, they don't get map rooms. Come on, hop up, boy. Now lay down. Lay down. Here's old Torian again. As I'm really not sure what I'm doing here, which is another support for a live commentary. Well, I think it's coming back through here for this part of the cleanup. Because there was this door that we managed to miss along the way. Now, this is very much aided by having the plasma beam for. Because you can shoot through all of those guys at once. And yeah, go ahead and do your wall jump. Despite what I previously said about there only being one thing you need to shine spark for, you need to shine spark here. So there's probably others that in my moment of trying to sound smarter than I am, I forgot about. But yeah, this spot you definitely need to shine spark up for. So part of my great sage wisdom has already been proven wrong within this one video. And we got a super missile for our efforts. Now, super missiles are one thing that really we haven't been getting a whole lot of, it doesn't feel like. And I think that's going to change once we start clearing out Norfair. Were I smarter, I would have gone all the way to the bottom there and taken that elevator and powerbombed through the one wall, which will put us right back at the destination that we want to be at. But no one's really ever accused me of working the smartest at things, so there's that. While we're here, though, let's go ahead and top off on everything. See where we're sitting. We definitely need 2 more energy tanks. Okay, so we have 2 energy tanks. Looks like 7 missile packs, 2 super missiles, and 3 power bombs left. And I don't pull up the sub-screen to look at the reserve tanks right here, I don't think. Maybe I do. Yeah, okay, we have all 4 reserve tanks. So that's how we're sitting on that. I might have even missed mentally where we did the video splice over at. Because I swear the first part of this was only 10 minutes long. So if I missed it while post-commentating, I hope it wasn't too obtrusive for you guys either. Now, most of our stuff we still need is in lower Norfair, including both of the energy tanks. One of the super missiles is there, I think 2 of the power bombs, and 5 of the missile tanks are there in lower Norfair waiting for us. And I made sure to get it all on one go-through. Oh, and one of the most iconic items from the series is sitting there too. So, there's that. I'll obviously be pointing that out whenever we get there. Well, guess what happens whenever you run through this room not paying attention? You get to shine spark out of it. Which is something to really pay attention to on your playthroughs. This room, if you're just running through willy-nilly, is going to piss you off as many times as you fall in that hole. But damn, this feels like a journey so far. Because it really has been. Like, remember at the beginning, we were kind of being cautious with enemies, felt really squishy. Now we're just powerful. In fact, the only time we come relatively close to death, I think, is the Ridley fight. Everywhere else, it's just like, oh, hey, you're in the way. I'm gonna slap you. But yeah, I mean, nothing's really hurting. We have all our armor upgrades, so we have the most damage reduction we can get. We have health for days. This is just, it's a good position to be in. That's one of the things I like about 100% runs is they're a lot more comfortable than just any percent runs. Where, you know, you may have enough health to get through, you probably have enough health to get through, but it's not a very comfortable victory. It's stressful, at least it is for me, and knowing that there's stuff out there that, hey, this is just waiting to be picked up, just sitting here chilling, I'm waiting on you, big boy. It just, I don't like it. I don't like leaving stuff behind that I know, hey, I could go get that. Why did I not? But we're finally working our way down to the lower Norfair. We've seen the way down there before. Back when we were cleaning up upper Norfair. Because lower Norfair is a little bit hidden. It wants you to use your abilities to figure out the way in. Crocomyre's upper Norfair's boss. Ridley for lower Norfair. And this isn't the way. This is the way to high jump boots, Breach. That was the way to the map station. Lower Norfair's entrance always kind of boggles me. But hey, what's this? What you got going on there, game? Huh. It's a little hidden under area with stronger enemies. Now, there is a missile pack hidden up here, and the spring ball is really your best bet for getting it. Because as soon as Samus hits these little platforms, she jumps up. So, spring ball makes this infinitely easier. And I dropped a power bomb there while in morph ball mode, so I didn't have to come out and shoot that thing, and hopefully work my way back up to it. Which I think is really the best way to do that. I'm sure there are a lot more efficient and faster ways, but that's what I found works best for me. Which overall throughout this game, I think has been one of the greatest themes of it, is find what works best for you. Even back to the first episode, hey, Crocomyre's room. We already got that energy tank. But even back to the first episode, when we made it a point to set up our control scheme in the most comfortable way possible, it was apparent then that this was a game that is giving you all the options to play in your own way. You can customize the controls. You can go through areas 2 or 3 different ways depending on how you want to do it. And that's really one of the greatest strengths of this game, is its customization. It is open for all types of players. Get that power bomb back real quick. To play it fast, play it slow, it doesn't really matter. You can play it how you want, which I think is why this game, among so many others, has had such a lifespan and had such a love from gamers everywhere. Why people can come back and replay it millions of different ways and times. Because it says, okay, you know, you don't want to do that this time. Try it a different way. Let's try and get Speed Booster early. Or let's try and quick kill Kraid. Let's skip the Spore Spawner. You want to fight the bosses in reverse order? It's hell, but it's doable. You can come into Norfair and it's possible to kill Ridley without ever having the Varia suit. Or the gravity suit. You can get through Meridia without the gravity suit. I wouldn't recommend it at all, but you can do it. Now those guys hit like a son of a bitch. And we are going to have to go back through there. But you notice, the plasma beam did jack and shit to them. The game took off its kid gloves in Meridia, and now it's starting to get a little frustrated. You shouldn't be doing this well. It's the other reason why having all of the upgrades and everything really does a benefit to you. Because if you don't, and you rush down here, you're going to have to rely on those save points. Which is what a reverse boss order run does. Dodges, relies on save points, and picks up equipment at the perfect time to keep you from dying. You gotta farm those little pods to make sure you have enough resources to get through, because like a reverse boss order run, it isn't gonna have all the power bombs and super missiles and everything that we have already. Oh hey, I bet this is a trap. It is. Spring Ball is how you want to get this missile pack. And we're about to have a mini boss fight too, as I recall. There's the statue that will be known as the Gold Chorizo. And we actually jumped up there and saw where he falls down from. Like, up until that, I didn't know that that's what happened. Now this fight, you want to use your charge beam plasma shots on him. If you try and do a missile on him, he's going to grab that sumbitch out of the air and throw it back at you. And you can see his health go down. He follows the same Super Nintendo arcade boss pattern where he changes colors as his health gets lower. And honestly, if you've picked up all the energy tanks along the way, you can just tank him out. If you need to, you can shoot the little orb explosive balls that he's doing in the air and get health back that way. But he shouldn't be any trouble for you now. And up where he dropped down from, if we can space jump up there, I said if we can space jump up there, if space jump will work, thank you. Use a power bomb, get a super missile. And as I said before, one of the super missile packs left is back in the wrecked ship. So if you picked that up along the way, awesome, you've got it. This is the item I was hinting at earlier that is very iconic to the series, the screw attack. Which really makes the space jump probably a method I'll be using, or trying to use, a little bit more. Oh, we definitely need this station. Get a nice health recharge after burning a lot of health on Gold Chorizo and getting to Gold Chorizo. And if there's not enemies, then I'm just going to wall jump. But Screw Attack makes it to where whenever you spin jump through enemies, you destroy them. So yeah, not only were we in such good position that we could just, kind of mow through them with our plasma beam, now we can just jump through them. And that one little sneaky bastard hit us on the door transition animation. And hey, it's that one room that we went through earlier that we're coming back through now. And these pirates, we couldn't hurt them with our plasma beam, but by God, we can hurt it with our space jump. Like I said before, Lower Norfair is one of my favorite areas in the game. You hear the music and how just dun 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 dun. It's like you're battling with a war drum in the background. Our power bombs did a little bit of damage to those guys, but not really enough. And I think the way I was going there is the way out. So we're going to go continue in this direction with a nice little rising lava room. Now, this room holds some secrets. Not necessarily right there, but it does hold some secrets. Now, you'll notice that a lot of these breaking blocks I can break with screw attack. That's really what you're going to use screw attack for most. You're not really going to actively try and use it as a way to damage bosses or anything. You're going to use it as a way to traverse an area. Hey, I wonder what this leads to. It leads to an upgrade that you also want to have Spring Ball for. This is the Mickey Mouse room. Because obviously it looks like Mickey Mouse. So that little second bridge there, if you touch it, it's all collapsible blocks. It's going to end poorly. And we didn't even have to go through the one room. This room wants you to use Space Jump. Space Jump doesn't really work for me. I don't know if that's because of my inputs and input lag, or if Space Jump just doesn't want to fucking work. However, they give you enough time to just platform your way up here with the rising lava. It'd be really dickish if they hid like power-ups in that room or something. But no, not this time. There you go, Breach. When in doubt, use a power bomb. Now these key hunters are significantly beefier than the other ones we've been fighting along the way. And this, you can destroy those guys with a super missile. And typically to this point we haven't even really thought about destroying them. We haven't needed to. But there, you kill him and sneak behind him. And you go into what I like to call the Reptar Room, because of the big stone dinosaur that you run across the top of. And you can get one of the last two energy tanks. I get that here just to give us the most health we can have against Ridley. But you can get that on the way out of here, because we will come back through here on the way out and actually go up there. But it's right there as you're coming across anyways, so it's almost better to grab it now. That way you can make sure you have enough health for the boss fight, because it's not a pushover. As always, in harder areas of the game, saved often. You see me save like pretty much anytime I come across a room. And this is finally, I know I've said it before, this is finally the point where I'm like, okay, there's not power-ups in the save rooms in this one. Stop looking. And I love the aesthetic of this this area of the game too. I mean, you have the old Shozo statues that have just been taken over by the space pirates. And it's all like ancient Aztec looking architecture. I love the way it looks. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you saw that, Breach. You saw that. Powerbomb hidden to the side. Yeah, they love in this area to hide stuff in just little spaces like that. We had the Mickey Mouse room. There's also a mushroom house. And these little platforms, in a speedrun, you can glitch through them. I think by going in and out of morph ball mode. These guys, the ancient pirates, you can only hurt whenever they turn yellow. The door on the left side of the room is locked, so we do indeed have to fight them. And you can only hurt them whenever they decide, okay, I'm gonna let you hurt me now. Ah, you son of a bitch, why are you locked? And it takes several full charge beam shots. Come on, notice me, senpai. Hey, gotcha. I got one of you. Notice me. Turn yellow. There you go. So, these guys are jerks. I don't like them, but I get it. It's to say, hey, you know, you're strong. There's still other enemies that are super strong as well. And if you've played the game before, you know we're getting suspiciously close to the leader of the space pirates. Which, I mean, let's face it, as strong as they are and as technologically advanced as they are they really pirates anymore? Oh, come on, son of a bitch. Wasting the super missiles, I'm going to need those on this fight. This fight that is so iconic for the game that it made the cover art. Now I do a power bomb there just because it makes Ridley appear faster, or at least I think that's what it's supposed to do. And this fight goes really poorly. This is not one of my prouder moments, even though it's one of my more favorite parts of the game, just because of how iconic and epic it is. But I do really poorly, and I'm lucky that I beat him when I did. As I recall, I even ended up having to use reserve tanks in this fight. Because Ridley, he has an HP value, just like any other enemy in the game. But the fight ends on his animation, so Ridley decides when he dies. There are ways to trigger that animation. I don't know them. But Ridley is the ultimate decider of when he dies. Because he'll hit 0 HP, and then he will just sponge it for the rest of whatever you put into him until his death animation triggers. And he definitely follows the trope of, you know, he started out kind of a nice purple, now he's getting kind of pink, magenta, and then he gets bright red like on the cover of the game. He's a very iconic character, and they did such a better job with his design in Super Metroid as opposed to Metroid 1. Which he was in. Ridley and Kraid both were in that one. Hold up, wake up, little boy. Stop having puppy mirrors near the mic. Now, I go to the reserve tanks there just to make sure they're full and to see how I'm going to do that. I don't know how to manually use them, so yeah, there we go with our reserve energy. So even if we had the maximum health in the game, Ridley's still doing enough damage to us that, you know what, we could easily die. And I'm sitting there thinking, holy shit, did I... Okay, we got the death animation. Because we went through over 200 missiles and over 40 super missiles in that fight. And here, I'm just setting the controller down, breathing like, oh shit, thank God that's over. Let's go get that infant Metroid and... Fuck. Well, at least we get an energy recharge. Tiger broke out of its cage there, which is not good. We've got little infant Metroid just running around the place. We don't want that. So, we have 2 videos left on this, which astounds me. Next video is going to be a cleanup, and then we're going to do Torian. And then the journey will be over. Very bittersweet to be this deep into it. And I know it's a very short project by Let's Play standards, but I don't know, I haven't done one in a while. A full Let's Play. And there's always that kind of sad feeling to see it go at the end. It's kind of like dropping your kid off for school, watching them grow up. And they grow up so fast. Hey, look at you bastards! We don't have to fight you this time. But yeah, it's been a great ride so far, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. We're gonna get back to a save point. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off commentary there, and let's just enjoy Lower Norfair's soundtrack for the rest of the video. That's how you glitch through those platforms, by the way. But yeah, stay tuned. Let me know your impressions of the game. Have a good one.